guys, how's it going? Caitlin here, and welcome to my kitchen for another week of meal prep. I hope you're excited. If you don't have your prep list with you, grab your prep list. If you're not sure where to find a prep list, look in the description for the video and you'll find a couple links there so you'll be able to work along with this with me. I have 3 different varying levels of prep with this, depending on your level of motivation. So if you're feeling it, you're rocking it, then go right through. And if you are just like hanging on by a thread, I guess. Yeah, if you're hanging on by a thread, then just go with what you can. And if you just make it to level 1, you've still made your week so much easier and you're gonna love yourself for doing it. So, shall we get started? What is on the menu this week, my friends? We have pad thai, slow cooker Mongolian beef, egg salad sandwiches, lemon herbed chicken bake, and ending it with build your own pizza. So some good classics in there, lots of flavor. Hope you guys are pumped and let's go. All right, as always, we start with making ourselves cry. Oh, okay, not always, but we're gonna start with making ourselves cry a little bit. Chopping an onion, okay? You can chop it, slice it, dice it, however you want to. I'm gonna use my food chopper to chop this bad boy. As I fight with the skin on this. There we go. Actually, just gonna pick up a divider for my prep container there. So I'm just giving a quick rough chop to this, and then I'm gonna fine chop it with my food chopper. Don't really need my knife flying off the cutting board while I'm going at it. Chopped. Here we go. Now I'm going to chop half of a pepper as well. And the way I like to process my peppers is just following the lines along the bottom, like so. That onion, I might have chopped it, but it's getting its revenge. Fair is fair, I guess. So just giving a little light chop to this half a pepper before I go to town all over it. Horrible job of chopping that one. I do find the chopper will work a little better if I have my pepper skin down. Skin up? Yeah, skin up. That's what I meant. Almost lost you. That pepper smells really good, actually. You know, sometimes you're cutting a pepper, you're just like, wow, that smells like freshness, and I just want to eat that, but I'm prepping it. Maybe I should have had another one here to eat. Apparently I'm prepping hungry today. Here we go. First container is done. So just got some peppers and some onions in there. If I cared if my peppers were going to be tasting, you know, a little oniony, I wouldn't have them in the same container, but I don't, so that's all right. I'm just gonna grab a little liner to put on here. Because we're gonna shred up 2 cups of cheese now. Man, that onion is still getting me. That's crazy. Vicious, vicious onion. I feel like it's just something you should wish somebody on prep day. Be like, may the onions not burn your eyes today. You turn it into a thing. Maybe. Okay. 2 cups of cheese is usually somewhere around half a block. You can do a little more, a little less if you want to. Because if you know that you like really, this is for pizza. If you know you like a really like super extra cheesy pizza, maybe do more. If you're dairy free, maybe do none. Whatever you do, always make it yours. I do try to keep in mind when collecting these recipes to make it something that it's something you can adapt to suit your family, whatever works for you guys. Because everybody's got different tastes, different intolerances, different preferences, and it just gets harder the more people you're cooking for. So whatever works or doesn't work, if you prefer a different kind of cheese, swap out the kind of cheese. If you don't like the veggies, swap out to a different veggie. Don't exclude all the veggies. Even if you're on a restricted diet and can't eat some veggies, there will be some that you can eat. And if you're having issues with figuring out what you can swap for something else, I love getting creative with recipes. This is my jam. I am definitely never going to be a Michelin star chef. However, I can help you if you're struggling for putting together a recipe and you have any sort of restrictions at all. I am happy to sit down and help you figure that out. That is definitely my jam. So just let me know. Cheese is done. And you know what? That's level 1. If that's all you have in you, you did awesome. You did great. And you know what? You are gonna love yourself this week for all of that time and all of that effort you just saved yourself. And it doesn't look like much, but when you go to your fridge and that thing is ready, you're gonna be like, I'm a rock star, right? So enjoy that feeling. If you're still with me, then let's keep going, shall we? So we're gonna start. We're getting all the stuff ready for our slow cooker for the Mongolian beef. So we're gonna be prepping a whole bunch of veggies here. And if you've made Mongolian beef or you've looked up recipes for it, usually there's a lot of meat and not many veggies. But I think something that's loaded with this much flavor should have veggies in it. For the very obvious solution that we actually have to eat this and we want to be, you know, healthy humans, feeling well for years to come. And the way to do that is to eat a balanced diet. So we're not just going to have, you know, a bunch of salt and a bunch of meat. Instead, we're going to have a bunch of salt, a bunch of meat, and vegetables thrown into it, because that's what we call balance. So, a couple carrots are ready to go there. I'm going to be shredding all my veggies using a mandolin. Now, I am the klutziest person in the entire planet. If you wanted to use, if you have a food processor with like shredding grates or something like that, you could use that. If you want to use a cheese grater, you could use a cheese grater. I'm going to use a mandolin because it's really efficient. It saves time. And this mandolin also will not cut off my fingers. So I really like that about it. It's called the Rapid Prep Mandolin. It's got 3 different settings on the back for slicing French fry, aka large julienne or small julienne. So I'm putting on the small julienne setting, and it's got 0 to 3 millimeters. I'm gonna put it in for 2, just because I think that sounds good. We're gonna put it in at 2. And this is why it's so safe. It has a bunch of different guards and locks in place. So I can unlock this, throw that on there, then that's nice and firm and secure. And only after I have that secure, I'm gonna lift up the blade. So traditional mandolins suck because, especially in the hands of the wrong person, because what you're doing is you're pushing your hand up towards a blade. With this, you get blade coming down towards the food and your hand's not part of the equation. So you can see why that just makes a little more sense and why it makes it way safer. And yes, I know people can use the mandolins and be safe, but I can't. That's just the long and short of it. Are all chopped up. I am just going to be throwing a whole bunch of things in one container that's going to be going into the Mongolian beef. I'm just throwing it all in one thing because it's less thinking day out. If I have my veggies already prepped to go in that thing and I can just go dump and then turn it on, I am a happy, happy, happy girl. Okay, so that's what we're going with. Next, slicing an onion. You know what? I'm gonna put the onion through this too. I'm just gonna throw everything through this because I started it now. I'm on a roll. Let me peel this thing. And like any of my good toys, this mandolin will just go through the dishwasher. So it's not an awful lot of work for me. I just usually try on prep day to make sure that I kind of have a fairly empty dishwasher that I can just load with things. So after I'm done my prep, I throw it all in, maybe 10 minutes of cleanup, like not very much at all, and then I'm ready to go. Okay, so wondering what kind of weirdo cuts their onions like this? Me. Job is getting done. It's chopped. And it's quick. Okay, nobody's ever gonna come to me for gourmet cooking. But like, this is functional, right? It's meal planning. This isn't showing off our cool cooking skills for anybody but ourselves. This is just us getting food on the table, surviving the week. If that is your mission, hello, nice to meet you. We can be friends, help each other out. But this is definitely, it's not glamorous food. My pepper was growing a pepper. I think I could eat that. I don't know if you're supposed to. I don't see why not. I think it's just a baby pepper inside of my pepper. Tastes good. Yeah, I'm gonna finish that baby pepper too. Pepper craving satisfied. Just gonna turn it up to 3. I find like the softer the vegetable, kind of the bigger you'll want to have the slats, the cuts, the julienne. I don't know. But on the 2, it looks like it's getting a little small for the peppers, so oops. I mean, I'm still at peace with it. It's still good, but I think it's going in a slow cooker. I can't really mess that up. Let's turn it up to 4. See what that looks like. Yeah, I think I like that a little better. Okay, let's see what else is going to be going in there. 4 ounces of mushrooms. You know what? I'm going to throw them in here and see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I might go for the, I'm going to go for the large julienne and see what that looks like. Or am I sounding all fancy? So I've got 5 mushrooms here. I just buy a pack, and it's about half a pack. All right, we'll go with it. I can hear my husband now. He's gonna be like, "What did you do to them?" Went rogue with the mandolin, honey. Went rogue with the mandolin. All right. So I am going to chop up a couple more things to go in there as well. Since it has garlic and it has fresh ginger, I'm just going to prep both of those now too. And then, oh, oops, piece of mushroom. Throw that in there. I'm just going to prep those couple things too. Not with the mandolin. I'm just going to use the food chopper for these ones. I might need to grab a little more ginger. We'll see. Once I open my ginger, it's all hollow inside. So I'm gonna do a tablespoon of ginger and then 4 to 5 cloves of garlic. Although I find garlic is something you can measure garlic with your heart. It is hard to put too much in. Okay, yeah, that whole part just looks good. I gotta grab more ginger. And there it is, right in front of me actually. Right in front of me. That is usually where things are when I'm actually trying to look for them. I know they call it man looking, but it might be, it extends out further than that. Or I'm just a man looker. I'm not sure. So I've heard of people not peeling their ginger. I do. I don't know why. I don't know if you have to. I don't know if it's recommended or not. It just always seemed like something that I should be doing. So I don't like that piece at all. I don't like anything to do with that piece. So I'm just gonna pretend that piece never existed. It's kind of lumpy and chunky and odd. So I'm just gonna take a piece out here. To make it really small. Mission accomplished. I'm not gonna lie, I really like ginger. So when I say a tablespoon, I'm gonna put in a solid, like, you know, a solid tablespoon. Okay. And then I've got 5 cloves of garlic here. Just cut the little nubby at the end off. Once again, something you probably don't have to do, but I shall. Texture thing. I'm a texture person. If I touch it and I think it's gonna mess with my texture or something, I'm like, hey, gotta take that off. Same thing with seeds and peppers. I will eat the baby pepper that grows inside of a pepper. However, the seeds, nope, don't want them. Man, I'm excited for the recipes this week though. Lots of different flavor to play with, old favorites. And I like having something in mind where it's like, you know, build your own pizza, because I don't know, there might be some stuff in my fridge at the end of the week that I'm like, we are having chicken pizza with insert other strange ingredients here. But you know what, if you serve it on a pizza crust, it can tend to work. Or maybe you're just craving something different that day or whatever. Pizza can take on whatever character you decide to give it. It is like the great actor of the food world. It's amazing. You know what? Nobody's ever upset on pizza night. Listening to my my washer singing down there. And I don't know whoever decided that modern appliances needed to sing a song when they were done, like sing a full out song, just in appreciation of themselves. But I think it's kind of hilarious, because I don't remember any appliances singing when I was growing up. And now it's the rare appliance that just shuts off unannounced. They all have to announce. It's like, look at me. I did exactly what you wanted me to, and all you had to do was press a button. But who decided that was a good thing? We needed more noise in our lives just to hear when a noisy machine finished by making even more noise. It's kind of bizarre. If you know of any, you know, quiet washing machines, let me know. Okay, I'm gonna chop these up now. There we go. And I'm just gonna scrape those right in here as well. So that's my veggie, my garlic, my ginger. That's pretty much my, it's pretty much our slow cooker meal, like ready to go. But if you want to, we'll get even more done. All right, because if you want to, we will keep on going with this and we will just prep the rest of it. Does that work? Okay, awesome. Let's do it. So I am going to, let's see. We're gonna get the sauce ready to go in our slow cooker as well. Because if we're doing a slow cooker meal, it's because we don't have time that day or we don't want to have time that day. So we are just going to go with it, okay? So I'm gonna do a container here. I am going to throw in a tablespoon of oil. You can use whatever kind of oil you want. I'm actually going to use sesame oil because I am a flavoraholic. I like all the flavor you can get, like any of the salty stuff, any of the whatever. Just give me the flavor. You can use avocado oil, vegetable oil, some kind of oil, whatever kind of oil you're feeling. Okay? I do. We're gonna do 3/4 cup of water, 3/4 cup of coconut aminos or soy sauce or something in that ballpark. Make sure it's gluten-free soy sauce if you're using it though. And 1/2 cup of brown sugar. So for doing my liquid measures, I'm gonna be using this. I'm gonna eat my water. And of course, we're cooking here, not baking, so you're not gonna be real scientific. However, I love these measuring cups for anything that's liquid. So if you're measuring it in a regular measuring cup, usually you're doing up, down, like trying to get a read. For this, the measurements are all written on the inside of the cup, so you can, and it's tilted, so you don't have to get down and up and down and up, you can just see it. Doesn't sound like much, but it's a little bit magical. There we go. So I'm using coconut aminos because I am also soy free. So using coconut aminos there. Using some brown sugar. And hey, I know sugar's the enemy, but whatever. Seems like every food is kind of the enemy, but and maybe it's the thing about having food restrictions, you know, if it's a food that I'm not restricted from, then I'm not just gonna cut it out, unless I really, really, really have to. And sugar doesn't have to seem to have any crazy effects on me so far. I mean, you don't want to eat sugar all day, but anything in moderation, right? There we go. Beautiful. So there's our sauce. Our sauce is going to be ready to go there as well. Just get a lid on there. So that's going to go in the fridge. And next thing's up. Okay, we are going to, I'm going to prepare dry ingredients for the pizza crust. So, that one's a little wet. That one wet, dry ingredient mixture thing. So, if you have prepared crust or a mix, obviously, you're not going to do this. However, if you're putting together your own pizza crust recipe, you can put together the dry ingredients now, even up to and including the yeast if you want to. And that's just going to save you time day of. It's a little cheaper to make your own mix than it is to buy a mix, generally speaking. So, okay. And I also really, really enjoy this pizza crust. It reheats well, it cooks well, it doesn't have any crazy directions. I mean, you need a stand mixer, but I feel like you need a stand mixer for almost everything if you're gluten-free, because if a crust or a dough works, it's only because it's wetter. So you're not really, you won't meet many gluten-free recipes that you're like kneading something. Also, my crust recipe, it is 1 large or 2 small pizzas. So if you need more than that, I'm gonna put some potato flour in. If you need more than that, double it. Because maybe you're serving your pizza, don't laugh at me, maybe you're serving your pizza with side salad or something like that, so that a pizza is a portion of the meal and not the whole meal. Or maybe not. Grab some sugar. Need sugar to feed the yeast. That is one thing. You could use natural sugar if you wanted to. If you wanted to wait and use honey or maple syrup instead of sugar day of, you could. Just put it in with your wet ingredients instead. but yeast likes to feed on sugar. So that's one thing you're gonna want. Can't deny that yeast a good meal. All right, I'm gonna throw a tablespoon of yeast in. There we go. Dry ingredients for one pizza. Right there. My boys will be so happy. Now, last thing I'm gonna do just because I don't want to be doing this after, I'm going to actually slice the meat up now. You could do this, for a lot of meals. Like even if you have your chicken now for some meals this week and you wanted to cut it and then put it in the freezer until the day or the day before. Because sometimes when you're getting meat, you're gonna wanna put it in the freezer if you're getting groceries once a week, because you don't want to leave your meat that long, right? However, and it does help too if you want to throw your meat in the freezer for just a little bit before you're cutting it. And cut against the grain if you want it to be a little softer. The grain is just kind of the direction that the meat is going in. You look at it and the lines on it seem to kind of be going one way. You want to cut the opposite way on that. Yeah, so if you wanted to chop your meat on this day, like just to kind of end things off, you know, you could do that. You could have it prepped in containers and then just take it out. I wouldn't do it till the end because obviously you don't want your meat going on your vegetables and stuff like that. So save it till the end, but anything that saves you a little bit of time this week. And look through and see if there's anything else that you can do. Or what I like to do about now is look in the fridge, see is there anything that needs to be used? If there's anything that needs to be used, how can I incorporate it into one of the recipes? Because there are recipes you could just sneak other things into, right? And after you start doing it a little bit, you'll get even better at it, right? Because that way, if you're planning in advance for whatever you have, you're gonna have less waste. And if you have less waste, you're probably gonna be eating healthier and you're probably gonna be saving money too. So all of these things are perks that come with meal planning. And actually the average person who meal plans saves between, I think it's like $100 and $500 a month. It's something crazy. Just because you have a plan. Even if you're having these meals that help you indulge a bit. By the way, if the price of beef is like crazy where you're at, don't feel like you gotta have beef with this. Like nobody ever said that you couldn't have a Mongolian chicken, right? You could grab 3 chicken breasts, that gives you about 1.5 pounds, and that would be good too, right? I've never heard of a Mongolian fish. I can't see that working, but maybe you can give that a try too. I was just trying to think of other things that you could use. I'm like, could you do pork? I'm like, yeah, you might be able to do pork. I don't see why you couldn't do pork. And I'm like, what about fish? It's always the question. Like, fish is its own realm, right? Like, sometimes it works with the other things, and then other times not so much. I gotta say, it wasn't really a bad cut of steak, this one. Like, there wasn't a lot of not a lot of gristly parts, so that's nice. Sometimes, you know, you get cutting into it and you're like, well, that was kind of mostly thrown out. But no, it was a good piece. I'm really excited for this, actually. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little cut across. And I gotta say, like, this knife is so sharp and cuts through meat so easily that it kind of terrifies me a little bit, but the results may vary depending on what your knife is like. Okay, here we go. So, my meat all cut up. Just throwing that in a container, and then I'm gonna be good to just dump that in the slow cooker. That, my friend, is the dream. And with that, we are ready. Like, there's so much stuff going in the fridge right now, like, especially that slow cooker meal is just going to be, if you need an easy day, there's your easy day right there. I hope you enjoy the meals this week, and I will see you next week for another week of meal prep. Enjoy. Bye. Thank you.